Hey guys, hope you're well today. Here we go again with another video of me driving around. Today I want to talk about one for the ladies, your cycle every month, specifically trying to diet when it's your time of the month. So all of us ladies have to go through this in the certain age window, obviously. I'm not going to go into specifics there. But the reason why I want to talk about it today is I have a lot of clients that use this as an excuse. So when you have your monthly cycle, remember that it is a monthly cycle, around about 28 days for the majority of people, give or take. And there's two parts to that. You have your ovulation, and then obviously you have your period. So you get different hormonal spikes at the two different times, and both can affect your weight loss journey, but not in the way that people seem to think. So I will be sharing with this video my own sort of journey for this cycle, which I've tracked just to kind of prove a point and have a little bit of evidence, so you can see in picture form what I've gone through over the past 6 days, which is my normal cycle length, and how my body changes or doesn't change in that time. And I've tried to just take a few different pictures from different angles, similar kind of lighting, similar kind of distance, etc., so it can take away some of the myths that go with your monthly cycle. So massive weight gains or massive weight losses is not directly linked to the fact that you are on your period. You'll see from the pictures that I didn't have massive changes in weight, and it kind of regulated itself quite quickly. So unfortunately I didn't have the forward thinking to take my previous day's weight picture, but the only real weight gain was on my day one. So day one for me was Friday last week, day 6 being today, and Thursday I felt like a demon. My energy was rubbish, I was irritable, I didn't have the energy to train, my recovery was horrific from the week's training, so everything felt sore. So I didn't train on Thursday afternoon, which I usually would do, because I could feel that my body needed a break. So I listened to my body. And when I didn't train, I therefore knew, which I appreciate most of you guys aren't in the position to know, but your body doesn't need as many carbohydrates or as much glycogen if I'm not training, if I'm not exercising, if I'm not expending energy. I don't need to eat as many calories, I don't need to put as much food in my mouth. So I had a protein only supper, and went to bed feeling pretty miserable and quite sorry for myself, and woke up Friday, surprise, day one. So I had quite a difference in weight between Thursday and Friday. Again, like I said, I didn't take the picture on the Thursday, but my weight was 67 on Thursday, and then on Friday was 68. But you can see between Friday and today that the weight has normalized. So for people that are saying that all of a sudden they're going to pick up 2, 3, 4 kilos, and that it's going to be like that for the whole week or more than a week, it's not impossible, but you're talking sort of less than 5% of the female population. So it's a pretty small number. Yet it's the first go-to excuse for the majority of ladies when they have a weekly check-in if they didn't lose weight. Now, reasons why the scale tends to jump. A lot of times, our body's first response is to hold on to water. That's not because you've got some hectic water retention history in your family, or it's just you being victimized with water retention. It's more the fact of your body is made up of such a level of water that its first response is to make sure that it survives and it's therefore hydrated. You can live without food much longer than you can live without water. So its first reaction, if something external is happening or if something internal is happening, is I need to survive, therefore let me keep as much water storage as I can. And that is the weight that you see on the scale. A little bit of extra water that your body is holding on to. That is not the same as having water retention. And generally it passes usually in the day. If you weighed yourself multiple times during the day, if you had a normal water intake, meaning if every day I drink 3 liters of water and I have 3 liters of water today, your body will regulate itself and regulate its own water levels. It's when you start changing things, it becomes an issue. So if you have 1 liter of water yesterday and 4 liters of water today and 1 liter of water tomorrow, your body is trying to find its optimum level and regulate those things for you. And you will see those changes on the scale. 1 liter of water roughly equating to 1 kilo on the scale. Hence why we all want to go and have a quick little final pee before you weigh in, or you want to weigh in the morning when you've not eaten yet because you think you're going to be so much lighter. So then there's a massive link between water and carbohydrates. So what tends to happen, ladies, and here's your reality check, is at that time when you're feeling sorry for yourself, you crave carbs, because most carbs taste nice and make us feel better in the moment. Please see the other video regarding instant gratification. You feel better in the moment for eating it, but you feel worse afterwards. Then the carbohydrate is going to affect the water levels of your body, which is going to show on the scale. But if you didn't have that extra portion of carbohydrate, if you didn't have that extra packet of chips before you went to bed that you shouldn't have had, and you know you shouldn't have had, but you felt like it, then you wouldn't have had the same weight gain on the scale the next day. So it wasn't your period that made you gain weight. It wasn't the fact that you've got hectic water retention. It was the fact that you ate chips. The other side of this situation is generally when we are on our time of the month, we're feeling more lethargic. Well, of course we're feeling more lethargic because your body is tired. It is working harder than it usually works because it's got more stuff to do. So you're going to have to mentally push through the workouts even more so than normal. And when you do the workout, you're going to get the endorphin release as you usually would. But endorphins are also pain relievers, which is actually going to help you with whatever kind of cramps or aches that you're getting from your monthlies, if that's something you suffer from, as well as the happiness feeling of those endorphins being released around your body. When you skip these sessions, again, now your body is used to a certain level of activity, and you've now reduced your level of activity, and you've probably increased your food. So just like any other day, if you eat more food and move less, you will gain weight. So it's not your period directly that's affecting it. It's the hormones in your body making you feel like a crazy person, making you make a decision you might not make otherwise. And you have to realize that there's a difference between those two things. Your body is not making you do it. It is still something that mentally you can control if you have awareness, education, and a certain amount of mental toughness. Because this is something that the majority of women are going to have to deal with every single month for a number of years. And if you don't find a way to manage it and manage your cravings and manage your lack of activity, it's going to continue to be there. So identify the triggers. If you know that every time I'm on my monthlies, I always crave chocolate, then preempt that. Maybe buy a chocolate protein bar instead. Have a smaller portion. Allow yourself one chocolate bar. So there's some sense of control. Don't wait until it happens and then go to the shop and buy 6 chocolate bars and throw 2 weeks worth of work down the bin. Remind yourself that even though you're feeling more lethargic and more tired than normal, you still need to be active, or as active as your body will allow you to be. So that might not be a hectic leg session with weights. It might be a 10-minute walk outside, because that's all you can manage that day. It might be listening to your body, like in my case, and taking a rest. But I still trained every other day. I still did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and this morning, because I took off Thursday. So it doesn't mean that I need to take every single day that I'm on my monthly cycle off training. It's just a case of listening to your body, and we're all individual. So if you want to track, if you think this massively affects you, you want to track your daily weight leading up to your cycle, during your cycle, and after your cycle. Because if you have a 1 kilo weight gain on day 1 this month, you'll likely have around about a 1 kilo weight gain next month. It doesn't tend to follow a trend of it's 1 kilo this month, but next month it's 5 kilos. If you get a craving this month, it's likely to be the same craving next month. There are a lot of apps. I know that my Garmin app tracks this. You can track your monthly cycle on there. It will tell you when you're about to ovulate. It will tell you, you can enter in there how you're feeling, how your energy level is, what symptoms you're feeling, any cravings you've got, and it will keep that indefinitely whilst you've got the app on your phone. So every single month you can identify these trends that are happening with your body and try then to preempt them. So again, referring back to a previous video, you can set yourself up for a win instead of setting yourself up to fail and not planning for something that you actually know is going to happen, and then you suffer the consequences and don't get the results that you want to get. Anyway, I hope that video makes a little bit of sense to those people going through that every month. If there's anything specific that you want to ask, just pop me a message. You know how it goes by now. Thanks, guys.